2D Minecraft videos are all over YouTube, but all they do is cut a slice out of the world and call it a day. That's boring. I'm gonna turn Minecraft into a fully playable 2D game. And to make it more challenging, I'm not going to allow myself to use any mods like usual. Well, unless you count the zoom mod, but that's just for the camera. Don't worry about that. The first thing I decided to do was figure out how to lock the camera to a 2D perspective. I wrote a plugin that fires every time the player moves and forces their head to turn directly north. This actually already made the game feel very two-dimensional, but it still didn't look very two-dimensional. So the next thing I did was make the player completely invisible and attach an obscure item to their head. Then I made a custom resource pack that converts that item's model into a big flat rectangle. No, I didn't just do this because rectangles are cool, although I know they are, but because this allows us to paste any 2D sprite we want on top of the player. So I temporarily downloaded a sprite sheet from Super Mario World just to test and make sure everything worked the way I wanted. And it did! Look at how beautiful our double Mario is! Yes, that's totally what's supposed to happen! Okay, you caught me, that's not supposed to happen, but I talked to my friend Tux Bodai and he taught me how to animate textures and everything worked out peachy. Get it? But the Mario sprites were just temporary, so now I need to make my entire own Minecraft Steve sprite sheet. I started by just copying over pieces from the Steve skin, but I thought it was a little too contrasty, so I ended up redrawing him with really flat colors to look more like a 2D sprite. I thought it turned out pretty well. I replaced the Mario sprites with the new Steve ones, and it actually looked a lot better than I expected it to. Well, except for the fact that the GUI textures broke, but we can just ignore that, just don't look over there. Next, we need to make our 3D world 2D to match our character. I decided to start by filling in the sky with light blue concrete to cover up the extra faces of all the blocks around it. And I added barrier blocks for all the spots Steve needs to stand. However, I did notice that now since we're standing on barrier blocks, every time we jump and land on them, these yucky red particles fly out all over the place. So I simply just deleted the barrier texture. It's all gone now, nobody there.
Success!
I also changed the color of the sky blocks to make it feel more like the actual Minecraft sky. Next, we need to fix whatever you call this. To do this, I offset the models of every single one of these blocks and moved them out of the wall so Steve could walk on them. I couldn't figure out how to change the model of the chest, so I googled it and it turns out you literally just can't. So let's just pretend that chests don't exist in our game. We're not gonna, just don't worry about those. The stairs wound up being very tricky since they can be rotated, so I had to create a custom block state for every single rotation of stair in the game and a custom parent model to match. But after I did all that, it actually worked. I started grinding away making custom models for every block I was using until my roommate Fundy came in and told me how much of an idiot I am.
You're an idiot.
He told me why make a custom model for every single block I use when I could just drag the sky forwards and not have to make any custom models.
Failure.
So I deleted my past like 2 hours of work and just made